Hi, hello, how are you? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to India's number one online platform, Gradeup, and welcome to my class of operating system. So, today we will see about partitioning technique, right? So, the topic of today would be gain clarity of partitioning technique under memory management. Okay, so today we will start memory management. And in the memory management, we will see all different techniques, all that completely for gate 2021. So this is for gate 2021 and also for gate 2022, right? So you can get the clarity about it. So quickly, please like the session, subscribe and share the channel. So this is all about me. My name is Navneet Gupta and I have 8 years of teaching experience. I got 92nd rank in GATE 2008 and I am UGC NET qualified, Rajasthan SET qualified and many more things. You can just read it out. So everybody has joined me so that we can start the session, and today we'll see the, or you can say we'll start the memory management. So what is memory? So what is memory? I will tell you. First of all, memory, you all know what is memory. So computer memory, I will write two line only. Computer memory can be defined. So please make, whenever you are watching my session, so please take one pen and one copy so that you can also make proper notes. Okay. Computer memory can be defined as a collection of some data represented in the binary format. So whatever we store in the memory, it is in the binary format in the form of 10, and it is a collection of data. And or you can say a computer device that is capable of storing any information or data temporarily or permanently. Is called a storage device. Correct. So what I have written is, I have told you computer device that is capable of storing any information or data either in the form of temporary or permanently. We call this as the storage device or memory. So what is memory? I hope now you understood. Now the next is partitioning. Okay, so basically fixed, we have two types, or even I am writing here partitioning, partition. So partitioning, we have two types. One is fixed partition and the second is variable partition. Okay, so fixed partition, basically whenever one process will come in the memory. Okay, so we have to devise our memory. Memory means RAM. Please remember, I am talking about RAM here, right? So memory will be divided according to the process, that we call it variable. And if the size of each process, or you can say number of partition, is fixed, then we call fixed partition. So what is fixed partition? First point, it is also called as MFT. MFT means multitasking with fixed number of tasks. Okay, so multitasking with fixed number of tasks. And one more point which you should know here, number of partitions is fixed. Means how many partitions we have to do, that is already fixed, right? Number of partitions are fixed here, correct? So here because number of partition is fixed, so we have two cases, case number one, or you can say case A and case B. Case A means where we can have the size of the partition is fixed, and when the size of partition is not fixed. Okay, so when the size of each partition is fixed. So when the size of partition is fixed and number of partition is also fixed, then we will say case number A. Or you can say, suppose we have a memory here, and let's say it is a 64K memory. ठीक है, memory means RAM. And if I say number of partition, uh, 6 from 64 say K, you can say suppose 32K have been allotted to the operating system. Okay, so the remaining will be 32K. So if I say n is equal to 4, let's say n is equal to 4 means number of partition is 4. Okay, and the memory is available as 32K. So definitely 4 8s are 32. So 8 partitions will be, sorry, 4 partitions will be there of size 8K. So let's say 1, 2, 3 and 4, and the size of each partition. So this partition will be 8K, again 8K, again 8K, and here also 8K. So partition are 8, and here the number of partition is also 1 2 3 4. So because it is fixed, that is the reason we call it as fixed partition. But here the case number A is when the size of each partition is fixed. But again case B will be when the size will be variable. Okay, or you can say when the size of each partition is not fixed. Are you understanding? So if you have any problem till here, please ask me till now. Okay, so if we see case number B or second case, when size of each partition is not fixed. When the size of each partition is not fixed, then what we say, again it will be a fixed, because number of partition is fixed. Let's say number of partition is 4, here also 4, and let's say we have the remaining memory is 32K, right? So because size of each partition is not fixed, so I am taking, just for my simplicity, 10K, okay, and 12K, let's say 8K, and the remaining. So how many कितना हो गया, 2K, okay, 32K. So here it will be 10K, 12K, 8K, and 2K. So here the partition of each size is not fixed, but number of partition kitne, 4. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. So the partition of each, you can say, is fixed. So we call this as variable matlab fixed partitioning, case number B, right? So if you have any doubt till here, please ask me. Then we will go ahead. What will be the, you can say, drawbacks of this method? Right. So now here, before moving to the next one, I will tell you about Vision 2022. So it is a paid course, right? Here we will provide you 550 hours of live classes, 5000 plus practice questions in the form of test, 100 plus mock test, 100 plus chapter wise study notes, right? So we will provide you this in this all these. So this is best course for if you are in second year and third year engineering student. And now batch number 3 have been launched for gate 2022 aspirant. So please join it, everybody. And now if you have any problem, any query regarding the course, you can contact on this number, right? So now what will be the cons of this technique? Cons means what will be the drawbacks, correct? Now drawback will be, see, the first drawback of this will be internal fragmentation. Internal fragmentation. So internal fragmentation, what is internal fragmentation? Suppose I have one size, or you can say I have memory, and the memory is divided into fixed size, let's say 8K, 8K, 8K. Now I have a process P1, and P1 required memory 6K. So P1 will be allocated here and it will occupy 6K, and the remaining is 2K. And in this 2K, that in this no other process can be reside. Okay, so here this wastage is known as internal fragmentation. Fragmentation means wastage of memory. Okay, wastage of memory is known as fragmentation, and internal means if the wastage is within the block. Okay, I am writing here internal means within the block. So within the block, I call it internal fragmentation. Okay, so this is one drawback. Now second is external fragmentation. What is external fragmentation? Suppose we have memory like this, and some process is allocated here, some area is here, and we have some process allocated here, and some, for example, it is allocated, so it is 2k, it is 6k. Now I have pi which requires 8k, but 8k availability, I have 8k but not contiguous. So this wastage is known as external fragmentation. That is, it is not within the block but it is outside the block. What is external fragmentation? We have the memory available as 8k, let's say, and pi want 8k but it is not continuous. Okay, continuation में नहीं है. That is the reason we call it as external fragmentation. This is also a drawback. So here, degree of multi-programming is fixed. Fixed means equal to, you can say, number of partitions. What is degree of multi-programming? I am just telling you number of partitions. For example, how many process can reside in my memory as number of partition. If I have 4 partition, so maximum process can be allowed 4. So we call this as degree of multi-programming. So degree of multi-programming is fixed. And now here, what is the one more that is con limitation. So what is the process size, or you can say maximum process size? Okay, what is the maximum process size? Is equal to size of partition. For example, if I have many partitions and the maximum partition is 8k, so the maximum process size can be 8k, not 10k, right? So 10k process cannot accommodate in the memory. So maximum process size of the maximum process size in the memory will be size of the partition. So these are the, you can say, drawbacks of the fixed partition. Correct? Bolo. If you have any doubt, please ask me. Now the next would be, so it is fixed partition, and the second would be dynamic partition or variable partitioning. Variable partitions. So first point, it is also known as MVT. And what do you mean by MVT? Multi programming or multitasking, you can say. Multi-programming with variable number of tasks. Right. So multi-programming with variable number of tasks is known as dynamic partitioning or variable partitioning. And here, what we will do, according to the process, we will divide the memory. Okay, as per the process requirement, as per the process requirement, the memory is divided. Okay, as per the process requirement, the memory is divided. So this is the second point. And now if we see it, for example, we have P1, we have P2, we have P3, and we have P4. Let's say this is 6K, and all it is 2K. Let's say it is 10K, and it is 4K. Now here what will happen? So let's say my memory excluding operating system is remaining 32K. So first is P1 is 6K. So memory is divided into 6K, and here P1 will be allocated. Now P2, so P2 require only 2K. So P2 will stay in my second, and P3 will remain here. It is 10K, and again 4K. So here 4K and P4, right? And this is not a block, you know. So in the dynamic partitioning, we call this, like this one, whole. Okay, we call it whole in the dynamic partitioning or variable partitioning, or in fixed partitioning we call it as block, right? So what will be the advantages of dynamic partitioning, or you can say over the fixed partition? So what will be the disadvantages of fixed partition? So advantages of dynamic partitioning, very first advantage. Now can you tell me what will be the advantage? Quickly tell me. So first is no internal fragmentation, right? So there is no internal fragmentation. And second, what will be the second one? So maximum size of process will be maximum memory available. Okay, so maximum size of the process will be maximum memory available. So this will be one more advantage. And degree of multi-programming is equal to, it is flexible. Okay, we cannot say fixed number because here there is no fixed. Okay, so that is the reason we call degree of multi-programming is flexible. We can have sometime 4 process only, and we can have sometime 40 process also, right? 4040. So it is depending upon the process size and the available memory. So कितनी memory available है, कितना process का size है, that will depend upon the, you can say, advantage of dynamic partitioning. And now what are the disadvantages of dynamic partitioning? So disadvantages will be, first one, external fragmentation. Okay, so here we can have external fragmentation. For example, let's say P1 here allocated 4K, and here let's say P2 is allocated, I am just taking from my side, and P3 is allocated, for example, 10K, and uh, something more, P4 4k is allocated and 2k is remaining. Now let's say P1 is free. So when P1 will go out, now P1 is left out. Okay, but here it is 4k available now and it is 2k available now. Now let's say I have P5 and P5 needs 6k. So again 4k and 2k. If I combine these two, then I can allocate P5 right here. But what will happen because of this problem कि it is not continuous, continuation में नहीं है, then I cannot allocate P5. So this wastage and this wastage, okay, why we are calling it wastage? Because P5 requires 6k, we have 6k but we cannot allocate it, so we call it as wastage. And because it is not within the block, then we call it as external. Okay, so here we can have external fragmentation. Or you can say, suppose we have P6 and P6 require only 3k. Now what will happen? So see here, if we have 3k, so 3k will be allocated here. We call it P6 and this 3k, are you understanding? This 3k will be remaining. But please remember, this is not a internal fragmentation. No. Why not of internal fragmentation? Because it is not a block, it is a whole. Means suppose if I have process P7, or let's say it is 2k, or you can say 1k, whatever, sorry, 1k will be remaining. So P7 1k, so 1k process can be accommodated in this because it is not fixed, it is not a block, correct? So there is no internal fragmentation, that is the reason. ओके, फिक्स नहीं है ना, फिक्स्ड होता तब हम बोलते कि हाँ यहाँ पर हमारा इंटरनल हो रहा है, लेकिन इंटरनल नहीं है. सो वी कॉल दिस एज एक्सटर्नल फ्रेगमेंटेशन. सो दिस इज वन डिसएडवांटेज ऑफ डायनेमिक पार्टीशनिंग. एंड सेकंड इज कॉम्प्लेक्स memory allocation. So what do you mean by complex memory allocation? So here, as you can say, allocation and deallocation can be done very frequently, है ना? Because sometime process will come, we allocate the memory, and then when process will move out, then we will make the memory available for other process. So because it keep on doing, so sometimes it become very complex because we have to keep the track of each and every memory, whether it is free or it is occupied. Okay, so I will write one line: the allocation and deallocation is very complex since partition size will be varied. Because sometime partition size may be 40 MB or 40 KB, and sometime it become 4 KB. Okay, so the allocation and deallocation is very complex since the partition size will be varied every time when it is assigned to a new process. Okay, and OS has to keep track of all the partition. Right, so this is the second point. I hope you understood the dynamic partitioning and fixed partitioning. So now we will wind up the session here, and this is the Gradeup Achievement 2020. So these are the student of Gradeup who got the good rank in GATE 2020 this year. And this is all about green card and structured life courses. And this is the payment or fee structure of the Gradeup. For 3 months it will be 9,000, for 12 months it will be 22,000, for 18 months 30,000, and for 24 months 36,000. For more information you can contact on this number, and also you can reach us through this email, right? So here, if you have any doubt, please ask me, otherwise I will wind up the session in just 1 minute. And tomorrow we'll meet at the same time 5 p.m. with a new topic. Okay, the time for tomorrow will be again 5 p.m. Okay, so we'll meet tomorrow. Bye bye, take care, and have a great day.